Saying that it feels right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the LeGroup Sports Podcast. And today, you got myself, Sanskar Bhakta.
Aryan Bhakta.
And Jalen Bukta.
And so, just the other day, it was the first round of the NFL draft. So today, we're going to be talking about we're going to go through it pick by pick and just kind of rate, what the pick was and like how good the pick is for the team. So start off with pick number 1, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals. Everybody knew this one.
Yeah,
It's
expected.
pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Going into an okay system, I think that's a good system for him. He's got good talent around him, Joe Mixon, AJ Green, but Bengals need to build up their defense. You guys have any other thoughts on it?
Nothing really.
I think
They have a really good offense.
Yeah, but I don't think the Bengals are like a good franchise in
Yeah.
general. So, I feel like they could waste Joe Burrow's potential. If I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on what the Bengals pick in the next upcoming rounds, really. My opinion.
Because you've had players like Carson Palmer that said they don't really care like about winning and shit. They just care about
them?
the Bengals.
Oh, gotcha.
They just care about the profits and stuff, pretty much. And Joe Burrow's
Yeah.
he has like the winning mindset. Like he wants to win no matter what.
Yeah.
So I don't think he has like, he and the Bengals don't share the same mindset and attitude.
Gotcha. All right, so yeah, that was pretty much predicted. So, pick number 2 was the Washington Redskins, and they picked Chase Young, defensive end out of Ohio State. What do you guys think of this pick?
I think-
He was the
you go,
best
Joe.
player in the board. Means
Yeah.
he's definitely probably gonna be the best player in that draft.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why so?
He just said wasn't he like rated 99? And all the people that are rated 99 were
Yeah,
just
all the
super
players
good.
that have ever gotten a draft rating of 99 have been like really good. Their careers have been really good.
Yeah. How do you think he'll fit in with Washington, though? That's the big thing.
Washington needs everything basically.
Yeah, they need anything they can get, so this is a W.
I guess, yeah.
Just
No
get the
matter
best
what.
player on the board.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go on to pick number 3 then, because that was pretty obvious. So pick number 3 was Jeff Okudah, cornerback out of Ohio State. What do you guys think of this pick?
Same thing. He was the best player on the board. Just take him right away.
Yeah.
Really think cornerback is what the Lions needed, though?
Yeah, but like they need everything as well.
They don't really need everything.
Plus,
They
Right
have
now,
Harry-
their wide receiver core is good. Running back is decent.
If
Matthew
anything, the
Stafford's
Lions
okay.
needed to build an O-line.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Honestly,
they could-
cornerback isn't a bad
They
it's
just
not a
signed
bad,
2 offensive linemen in this year's free agency.
Cornerback isn't a bad draft pick for the Lions.
Especially how he was. He's just known for being like the best cornerback ever in Ohio State.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so we'll go on to pick number 4, New York Giants. They picked Andrew Thomas, offensive tackle out of Georgia. I think everyone can agree that this is what they needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely
A
needed
terrible
him, but
O-line.
like no one. I didn't really know they were gonna pick him.
I think
They
they're
were
gonna
gonna
pick.
I thought they were gonna pick Tristan Wirfs or someone else, like a different offensive lineman, or Micaiah Becton from Louisville.
The Giants, so they have a reputation of picking
Yeah.
not a lot of people.
I think the Giants could be good, dude. I think Daniel Jones is actually really good, and they have a good receiving core too. Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
But there are rumors that
Oh.
Evan Ingram might get traded, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but their defense, I think, needs some work for sure.
Yeah, but that old lineman helps. That's a good draft.
Yeah, their offensive linemen pretty bad.
All right, pick number 5 was also pretty obvious. Is Miami Dolphins. They picked Tua. I'm not gonna even say his last name.
Tua Tagovailoa. What the?
I go by
Tua.
Loa.
Tagovailoa.
Tua Tagovailoa.
It's not Tagovailoa because V. Okay, whatever. So yeah, that's pretty obvious. We'll just skip over that one because I mean, they kind of need a quarterback to be honest.
Alright, this is the big pick.
There's some controversy in this one. LA Chargers picked Justin Herbert to be out of Oregon. I know you guys have some strong thoughts on this.
I just think Justin Herbert's like Mitchell Trubisky, dude. Mitchell Trubisky 2.0, pretty much.
And he's just. I feel like Justin Herbert's probably going to be the best quarterback in this draft.
I don't think
Elaborate.
so.
I need some evidence, man. Come on, elaborate.
Like, come on, he's 6'6", runs like Russell, throws like Mahomes.
What?
I
Only thing he needs
I
to
don't
fix
think-
is accuracy. Everyone knows that.
No, but
His
it's not just
accuracy is really
accuracy.
bad.
He holds
Just-
he holds onto the ball longer than he needs to. He can't throw lob passes that well. Most of the time, he throws bullets when he should throw a lob.
If you look at his film, like if you look at how he played in college games, he held on to the ball for way too long. He threw to the receiver after the receiver got open. He didn't
Yeah,
anticipate.
he has so many timing issues. Like when a receiver cuts, he throws it before they cut. There's so many timing issues with his throws.
Oh, but remember, you know his backstory? He was like the 5th QB,
Yeah, but the backstory doesn't have anything to do with how he
and
plays.
he came all the way up.
I think the only way he can be decent or average at best is if he sits behind a veteran quarterback.
Plus, the Chargers' offense is perfect for him. He has Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler.
He has no O line though, and he has.
No, their O-line's good.
Then how?
They picked up like 50 offensive linemen in their free agency. They got Ryan Bulaga. They traded for the Morton guy from Carolina, and they're probably gonna draft an offensive lineman. So I think their offensive linemen
I don't
will be
think
better.
I don't think he's an instant starter. And what the Chargers need is in the draft is instant starter for QB, and
I
I
think-
don't think
Yeah,
for them at all.
they're gonna start him
You're gonna
because
start him right away.
their
Too
only
bad,
other option
in my
is
opinion.
Tyrod Taylor, and he's not good. And if you're gonna pick
Just-
someone that high up in the draft, you're gonna start them.
Justin Herbert kind of reminds me of like you said, Mitchell Trubisky, but he has terrible decision making as well, and it's kind of also what Jameis had our problem with.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. He's also shown in college that he has like potential. Like he played really good games, but also he's played a really bad game. So I don't think this was a good pick. For
I
the
think it would have
Chargers
been
at all.
better if he was picked by a team where he could sit behind a good veteran quarterback for 2 years, and he would have been, then he would start. He would be a better player. I think he could be pretty good.
I don't know. Who do you
Let's-
think
I guess we have to
Chargers?
wait.
Who do you think the Chargers should have picked instead of Justin Herbert?
Probably get Simmons. If they weren't gonna get a quarterback or offensive lineman.
If they were gonna get a quarterback, I don't know. This might be a reach. Jordan Love. I'd say
Yeah,
I would
I
pick
would
him
wait.
over Justin Herbert.
I don't know. I think that the Charger. I don't know. This one can go either or for me, but I don't know.
Guess we have to wait
We'll
until
move
he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can move on
Who
from that
knows?
one. So Carolina pick number 7, Derek Brown, defensive tackle out of Auburn.
I was surprised about this pick. I thought they were gonna get Simmons to replace Luke Kuechly with, but I guess they wanted a
I
defensive.
mean, they
tackle.
also needed to replace. They also had a defensive tackle leave as well.
Yeah, it was
He went to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So I guess they wanted to replace him first. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
but
Kuechly was like the main part of their defense. That's the thing.
He was the captain. He was the one that read the offense. He played like he called the shots basically. If it was audible or something, what they needed to do.
Like a lot of times when the Panthers defense made a big play, it's because he made the
He
right
was.
adjustment.
Yeah.
Like he was the best part of their team. Him and McCaffrey.
So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think the Panthers will do this next season with this pick?
I think it depends, honestly. Like how they want to play with Teddy.
Or if they play with Teddy. A lot of variables in Carolina. I mean, they have PJ Walker and Teddy as a QB battle.
if they do super bad.
Oh, that's true. Forgot about PJ Walker.
I don't know.
I think if they
All
do
depends on
lose-
how their new head coach
Yeah, how he wants to approach it.
wants to approach it exactly.
Like
They're
they
most
could very
definitely gonna
easily
get-
be a run first team, or they could be a pass first team because
You're
McCaffrey's also
definitely gonna
receiving
give
back.
Brady. I mean, not Brady. Bridgewater their chance first. because they paid him a lot for like 3 years. So they're
That
gonna
is
pick
true.
him first.
We'll see. I don't know about
If
that.
Teddy
All
gets
right.
injured, this is where PJ Walker comes in.
Pick 8 was the Arizona Cardinals. This is a team I'm really excited about the next season, but they picked Isaiah Simmons, linebacker.
I thought they were gonna get offensive linemen,
I did too.
but that was a good pick.
They're all line
Then
struggles.
that was definitely a steal because now they have a pretty solid
They
they
have
have a pretty
good.
solid team overall instead of that
They
except for
don't
that
need
O-line.
linebackers no more. They have Jordan Hicks, Chandler Jones, and him.
Yeah, the Cardinals can be good, dude.
They,
Especially
if
with
they
that DeAndre trade.
if they pick up some linemen in the later rounds or maybe trade for some, I think they might be a solid team right there. Playoff team for sure.
Because if you
It
look last
depends,
season,
really.
like Kyler still played pretty decent under pressure. Like he's good on the run and stuff at improvising. So even if if they get like an O lineman, and their O line still plays like, they'll play better, but like, their O line only needs to be a little bit better because
And the
Kyler's
only
still
problem,
good at improvising.
the only problem with that their team is that their division is just stacked. They have the Niners, the Rams, and the Seahawks, and the
They're
Niners.
in a very tough decision. I
Yeah,
don't know,
I
man.
don't.
I,
They have a. I don't know
Cardinals.
if they're making the division, man.
I think this year the Cardinals definitely I think have a playoff berth.
I don't think so, man.
I think either the Seahawks are gonna fall or the Niners are gonna fall. Games
I just.
for sure.
It's definitely that's the only way they can really get in. Oh yeah, this extra playoff spot. But
Oh, there's an extra playoff spot, yes, but I don't know. We'll move on then. Jacksonville, ninth pick, C.J. Henderson, cornerback, Florida.
he was the second best cornerback. I'm not really
I
surprised.
mean, overall, I don't even know what Jacksonville trying to do with their team. They blew up their whole defense, and then now they drafted defensive cornerback. Like,
Well, they
I don't
definitely got
understand
a
what they're
lot
trying
for
to do.
Jalen Ramsey though.
Yeah, they got a pretty good amount for Jalen Ramsey.
Even though he didn't want to play, they got like a first round pick in the third or something like that.
This was the pick, wasn't it?
And Minshew
Yeah.
Mania, man.
No,
No,
this
but
wasn't the pick. This was their own pick. Their own pick.
I'm just I don't know like what they're trying to do forward though this season. Are they trying to tank this upcoming season? I don't know. I'm trying to look
Yeah,
at all these picks from what's gonna happen this next season.
they're definitely gonna try getting Trevor. They're probably them and the
They
Patriots.
have Gardner Minshew though. I'm pretty sure if he
Yeah,
plays
but
really good this season, they're not gonna go for Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence, man.
I think that means anything. Okay, whatever. We'll move on from there. Browns with the 10th pick Jedrick Willis, tackle out of Alabama. I think Browns definitely needed a tackle.
100%.
Their offensive line's pretty good now.
It's not only that, like last season, most of their plays were drop back deep passes, and that doesn't help when you have a terrible O line. That made their
Yeah.
situation worse. So I think with Stefanski too, he's gonna change it up. Plus they have a better O line. I think the Browns can actually be pretty good.
And Stefanski is definitely like a power run kind of coach. And with
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb behind there, I think that's definitely gonna they're gonna be a force to reckon with. I'll tell you that.
They have they also got what's his name? Hooper on their team as well.
That's true. They have a nice receiving core.
They
have a
upgraded
good
their
receiving
offensive
core.
line as well a lot.
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about with Browns is Baker, but I feel like he can come up in the third year.
They got Jack Conklin. He was like a big part of the Titans' run game. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, we'll move on. New York Jets picked Mekhi Becton, tackle, Louisville with the 11th pick in the draft.
Jets just need offense. That's it.
Jets need everything, to be honest.
I thought they were gonna get a wide receiver.
That's what I thought, but I think they
But
care about their offensive line.
I
more now.
didn't think wide receiver, but just looking into it, I think they definitely need help on the O line first before they can go for wide receivers.
They need help
I
on
think this was
every
smart. This was
place.
definitely smart by them.
The only place they don't need help is quarterback
Yeah.
for right now.
I mean, Sam Darnold, he hasn't had much of a chance to prove himself.
It's like Josh
It's like
Rosen.
no
I think
one.
like Josh Rosen never got like an actual chance,
Exactly.
which is just unlucky.
They're probably gonna trade Le'Veon. I don't see him staying.
Good. All right. So we'll go on. Raiders picked Henry Ruggs, wide receiver out of Alabama, with the 12th pick. That was, I believe, the first wide receiver to go in the draft.
That's just surprising in my opinion.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna get Jerry Judy.
I don't know. I think he's a pretty good addition.
Yeah, he's
for
definitely. It was
the
either
Raiders.
him or Judy. I guess they wanted
They wanted
speed
speed. Yeah, they wanted the speed.
They
I don't
needed a
know.
deep
I
threat.
don't know about with Derek Carr though. I'm still like mixed on Derek Carr.
They don't. They have Mariota now.
more. I know, but
Yeah,
they're gonna give Derek Carr the first chance.
Yeah, I don't think Mariota's gonna start right away.
Really? I think I'm pretty sure John Gruden made it clear he doesn't want Derek Carr.
Well, he's still gonna start.
I
Can't
think
really do
he'll.
anything.
Yeah, I think he'll start.
Or they're gonna do a position
I-
battle.
I think it's going to be based on preseason. I think Mariota's going to win the starting job.
Yeah,
That's just me. Because
Plus,
otherwise, I don't know why they
releasing
would
Derek Carr.
aggressively try to go for him. They definitely, if they were going to stick with Derek Carr, why would you sign Marcus Mariota in free agency? You could have gotten someone way better.
That's a
but
backup.
like, he has a
Mariota's
backup.
not. I don't think Mariota's that good either.
They're both
I think
not really
he's
good.
definitely better
They
than Derek
definitely need a quarterback.
I think he's definitely better than Derek Carr, though. I think Mariota will definitely start for the Raiders, and Henry Ruggs will be a great option for him to throw to.
I don't think I don't know. I think Mariota's like, he's developed habits that he didn't have in college in the NFL.
Raiders have a good offense. If they just run the ball,
They do
could
have
be
a good
playoff
offense.
team.
Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, now Henry Ruggs. They can be a good team.
The offensive line is stacked as well.
It's really just about how their quarterback can play and who they will start. Their quarterback, Mariota or Carr, I guess.
All right. Next pick was the 49ers, and then the Buccaneers traded up for this pick. And they picked Tristan Wirfs, tackle out of
Wirfs.
how do you say it? From
Tristan
Iowa.
Wirfs.
Wirfs. Tristan Wirfs from Iowa.
Yeah, that he's definitely one of the best tackles. A lot of the tackles were like
I think
similar in talents.
I mean, he had a very fast a time in the combine for his 40-yarder, which is like pretty surprising, especially for a man of his size. And with Buccaneers and the recent like acquisitions of like Brady, Gronk, and all these people, I think they're definitely gonna want a souped-up O-line. So then Brady has more time back there because as he gets older, he's gonna be less mobile.
Especially
I think
with
this was probably.
Evans and Godwin being really insane deep threats. He's going to need more time to throw in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good decision. It's
I
a
think it is a
logical
great-
decision.
They definitely are trying to trade OJ Howard for a second round pick, probably.
Yeah.
Or they could go double tight end because Tom Brady does love his tight ends.
Well, there's already the rumor that they were
Right.
going to trade. They were looking to trade OJ Howard. And that's when a
Really?
lot of people thought, like, oh, maybe they're going to get Gronk back. And then it actually happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Buccaneers definitely be scary. The AFC, or not AFC, NFC South in general is going to be it's going to be a tough competition there.
Yeah.
I'm
especially
actually,
with the
like,
Saints.
so excited to see the season, but, like, we won't be able to because of
Yeah.
the
Well-
pandemic and stuff. It's so...
Yeah, we can get into that towards the end, the
It's like-
pandemic and stuff. I think we all have thoughts on that as well. So with the 14th pick, so the 49ers ended up with the 14th pick with the trade. They picked Javen Kinlaw, defensive tackle, South Carolina.
People say he looks like Jadavion. He plays like Jadavion.
I was low-key surprised.
I think this makes the 49ers very scary.
Yeah, I was low-key surprised, but at the same
They-
time, I was like, this could make them really
Now have-
insane.
I think they have D Ford, correct?
Yep.
They have
Ford. They just
Ford,
only traded
Well,
Buckner.
Nick Bosa and Javon Kinlaw.
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
team's
crazy.
Plus
Defensive
Solomon
tackle.
Hill.
Oh,
He's
that's
super
good.
good.
There's gonna be so many quarterbacks that are gonna struggle this season playing them.
Especially with the
Look
Cardinals.
at the Seahawks too. They have their old
Especially-
line isn't that good.
But Russell's
and
just used
You
to
go
it,
up,
man.
you go up against a bad O line. Oh man, it's gonna be game over for whoever faces them.
I feel like they should have not taken a wide receiver. They should have just kept on getting the second or defense.
I
With
don't
his,
know. I do think they needed a wide receiver to replace Emmanuel Sanders because that double
the
threat
brain.
at wide receiver was scary for them as well because they had a
Yeah.
great run game, and then they had uh, Samuel and Sanders.
They need
At the-
another receiver for Garoppolo to overthrow. So like,
I
I don't know.
Debo
I
is still
think
pretty good.
Garoppolo is not a deep thrower, but he can definitely throw really good like short to mid
he's
range.
a good West Coast.
They have
Honestly,
good one.
A
my
very good
opinion,
West Coast.
the 49ers definitely should have won that Super Bowl. The only reason they lost is because when they had the lead, they kept throwing the ball.
Yeah,
That's the run
they
games.
didn't go run.
You have one of the best run games in in the game, really, and you decide to throw the ball when you have a 10-point lead. That's all in the coaching right there, in my opinion.
Jimmy
From that,
Garoppolo did miss a wide open touchdown though, so can't ignore that.
yeah, but he never would have had to been in that situation if it wasn't for.
Yeah, and plus
But
his head
Garoppolo
coach,
will
man.
never be the quarterback though. Like that, he's never gonna be elite, and that's elite quarterbacks win Super Bowls. So that's
I mean,
the
in
thing.
my,
Like,
I think this is the one like special scenario though with the 49ers is where they can win without an elite quarterback for sure.
I don't know,
They had
man.
it. They blew it. Kyle Shanahan blew it.
Yeah, but Jimmy Garoppolo threw a terrible pass.
All right, we can get.
It would have been a touchdown, and it would have extended their lead.
I don't know, my philosophy is he never would have been
No, it
in
wasn't that. It
situation
would have tied the game.
Oh yeah, it would have tied the game.
if it wasn't for earlier play calls where they kept throwing the ball when they could have ran it.
Yeah, but even
Yeah.
but even a
What's the
team
best
with
run
bad but even a team with bad coaching, usually when a team has bad coaching, it's up to the quarterback to like one up that and like overcome that. And Jimmy Garoppolo is
I
never going to
know.
be that player. Like that's what I'm saying. That's why I think the 49ers are going to be limited by him. That's
agree
that's what
with-
happened in the Super Bowl.
In my opinion, I agree with Sunskar because
I
they
do
had the
too. No, I
best
do
running
too.
game.
Like that coaching there was terrible, but the coaching the whole game, Kyle Shanahan actually did pretty good. Besides like the third and
They
like
just-
part of the
But
third and fourth quarter.
I think that like when you're calling like an audible like that, or like you recognize that your play calling is bad, that comes with like more time as a starter. This was Jimmy's second year starting, right? First full season starting
What do you mean by that?
as a starting
What?
QB.
He was on the Niners for 3 years.
It was 2 years.
No, 1 year he was with it just from the trade. Then he got in. Then the other year he got injured, and now it's
Exactly.
third
So this
year
is his
right now.
first full year as a start. Like he played the full
Oh
season as a
yeah.
starter. It just comes with more time, I think. You're talking about Ryan with
I don't think he was just
Yeah,
used
no.
to throwing the ball that much. Because their team is usually just 75% running and 25% passing.
exactly, which is baffles me why they kept
But they
going in the Super Bowl.
instead they swapped places.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on from the 49ers. It's kind of dragged on a little long there. So pick 15, Denver Broncos. They picked Jerry Judy.
Probably one of the
Oh,
best
man.
wide receivers.
that's just such a good pick, dude.
Really good for the Broncos, especially with a young QB with Drew Lock. Pairing him with a young wide receiver like that, that's going to be
And they have Cortland
a
Sutton
scary
too.
pair.
Cortland Sutton is such a good route runner too. With
And
Jerry
Noah
Jeudy.
Fant.
So, and the Broncos have a good secondary, good defense in general. They can
They have a
kinda
great,
get-
Not anymore.
great
though.
running back, or a pretty solid running back at the back as well, Philip Lindsay.
They still have a good defense, Joan.
I think this season,
Yeah, but they lost Chris Harris, their best
Yeah,
cornerback.
but they still have a good defense. Like
I think Philip Lindsay will probably go off. So he'll
Or
have a
Melvin
breakout
Gordon.
season this year,
They
I
forgot
think.
about him.
yeah, and they have Melvin Gordon as well.
I think he's probably gonna start Melvin Gordon.
I
Which
hope
is
they don't
probably
start him,
sad.
bro. I'd rather see Philip Lindsay in the backfield. I feel like he would work with their system a lot better than Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, but
But yeah, Jerry
Denver was
Judy.
gonna pay him that much. He's definitely gonna start.
Yeah.
But Jerry Judy, great. That was a great addition to that roster for sure. So move on to the 16th pick with the Falcons. They picked cornerback AJ Terrell from
I felt
Clemson.
like that was a bad pick for them.
Really?
AJ Terrell was supposed to go late first round, but he hopped on like, mid first round. They do need a cornerback, not gonna lie, but they could have definitely upgraded their offensive line back and get Caleb Von Chase. They're and they could have just done better.
I
They could
think
have
the
got Xavier
Falcons.
McKinney as well.
Falcons are another team that really need to Matt Ryan in the back. He is a great passer, but he doesn't get that time to let the
Yeah,
play develop and get that pass out, especially to Julio Jones, who's a great
mainly because of their offensive line is just so old. All of them are
Yeah.
aging.
Exactly. I thought they would go for an O lineman, but yeah, I guess they want to beef up their defense.
Yeah,
I
because their
still this is a questionable pick.
mostly the reason is just because every time Falcons they score, the team literally scores the next second. They have like no good. They have like no one on their defense except Grady Jarrett and uh,
I think
Keenan
though,
O'Neal.
if they pick up some O linemen in the later parts of the draft, they can be they can be a pretty good team in the South as well. NFC South is going to be a great division to watch this season, I think, with
Yeah.
Saints,
100%.
Bucks, Panthers, and Falcons. I mean, you got two teams that are looking for something to prove, and then another two teams that are looking for like a Super Bowl appearance again.
Like, like 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, potentially a third with Matt Ryan. He might become a Hall of
Exactly.
Fame quarterback.
Then you got a young gun looking to prove himself. So I think the NFC South is going to probably have some of the best storylines this season.
Probably some of the best games too. Saints versus the Saints offense versus the Bucks offense. That's gonna be really good to. That's gonna be insane to watch.
I'm very excited for that. All right, moving on. 17th pick, my Cowboys. They picked CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver from Oklahoma.
Somehow, CeeDee Lamb fell.
CeeDee Lamb fell all the way to 17th, and now the Cowboys picking him up, getting a third great young receiver to pair up with Dak Prescott at QB.
No, I don't
I
think
think
this was a good pick, but it was a good strat. Because they just
I
messed
think
up
the
the
Cow-
Eagles, man.
Cowboys are definitely trying to beef up that offense, I think. With
That off-
Michael Pittman, got an offensive mindset. I think he can turn the offense around for Dallas.
definitely, if
This is a
Wait,
good
you
pick.
In my opinion, though, I do think it's a good pick, yes, but I would have liked to see a cornerback go at this pick, 17th pick.
Like I
Replace-
I feel like this is okay, but like you couldn't have gone wrong with getting either or was good.
Yeah. But
they
yeah,
definitely
it's
needed
not-
defense more, but like it's CD Lamb. He's literally projected top 10.
Like with
He
this
fell
wide
that
receiver
far.
core, any quarterback will play really good.
I mean, it's a very it is all three of those receivers can both be in the slot and deep threats as well. Michael Gallup has proven that he's really good in the slot as well as deep threat.
Plus
Only
you have
problem with that-
Zeke. Oh my gosh,
The only problem with that, but like
Zeke in the backfield.
they just might have too stacked of offense, and it's just gonna mess up everything.
I don't think you can ever have a two stacked of an offense.
Yeah, but like
The only thing that you have to worry about is keeping locker room happy, like keeping every player happy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like Amari Cooper is definitely not a person to complain. And CeeDee Lamb is a rookie, so he won't be saying much. The only person you got to check here is Michael Gallup. I don't know how he's gonna be.
I don't think Michael Gallup can. Like he hasn't really done enough. You know what I mean? To like complain.
He made some great plays.
But I still
He
think
hasn't
Amari
made-
Cooper is
hasn't
the
made
main
big-time
guy. Amari Cooper is still the main guy. Like you can't complain.
I still
unless you're
think they
Amari
need
Cooper.
they should have just got a defensive player. Because it's just not. You just want more You need a defense still.
I mean, they still have a solid defense.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
still have a
DeMarcus
solid-
Lawrence
solid
in the line,
defense.
as long as the defensive lineman that came more from Carolina. Honestly, I would have liked to see the Cowboys now in the draft to find a replacement for Byron Jones, and then B, get a safety. Either that's through trading or that's through a draft.
But like the only reason that Cowboys really lost is just that their defense just wasn't that good
Not exactly.
most of the times.
They had one of the highest powered offenses in the league, but they couldn't score consistently. They're one of
No,
the
but
worst
like
teams in the red zone.
Another
they
thing that
just
happened with our defense though is our defense was like was in shambles. There was a bunch of injuries going over. Sean Lee was in and out.
Yeah,
Leighton
that's
Vander
true.
Esch went out
Sean
with a
Lee's just
major
always
injury.
injured. You
Uh,
have to know that.
yeah, but Leighton Vander Esch went down with a pretty big injury. I think we had Robert Quinn go in and out.
He got
Uh,
overpaid.
another tackle go in and out. Robert Quinn?
Yeah, he got paid like 10 million a year.
I mean, he did amazing for us. He applied great pressure to the.
I don't know, but like the Bears, they just didn't need him, and they paid that much. Bears need
I
an
don't know.
offense.
I don't know. We'll get to the Bears when we get to them, but all right, we can move past the Cowboys now. 18 again, the Dolphins with a pick, and they pick an offensive tackle,
Yeah,
UCS, in Jackson.
there's a lot of people hate him, but I think he's pretty good. They should definitely got Josh Jones instead.
Honestly, what I think Miami, with all their picks this first round, did a really good job. I mean, they filled in the key places that they needed for them to succeed with young players. The only thing is, can these young players step up?
I think the
So,
main
in my
thing
opinion,
is Tua's injuries.
that's another thing. Tua's injuries, but I think when it comes to their division, I think the Dolphins might come out on top this year.
Yeah, last year they did way too good for what they had. You know what I mean?
It's definitely on
Like
coaching.
they surprisingly did good. Like no one expected them to be that good at the end of the season. You know what I mean?
Flores is an amazing coach as well.
I felt like they should have just got the best player available, in my opinion.
My opinion, Dolphins could have had like a many playoff berths if it wasn't for the coaching staff.
Yeah, Adam Gates is not a good
With
coach.
Ryan Tannehill, they had so many defensive pieces. They had Kiko Alonso. They had other pieces. Well, that's not coming to mind right now. And then on offense, they also had great pieces. They had people like Kenny Stills.
Their
They
whole
had
line
Jarvis
was
Landry,
pretty
Kenny,
good as
and
well.
Devontae Parker at once. All three are amazing wide receivers. I think that all came down to coaching those seasons, and they kept trying to tank for players that they didn't need.
If CeeDee Lamb didn't get drafted by the Cowboys, I think the Dolphins would have definitely picked him up.
I think this was good for the Dolphins because their O line definitely needs a little like help, especially with Tua and his injury, like his injury history.
The only problem with this one, Austin Jackson was projected in the third or second round, but they
Yeah,
just
but
picked
you
him up
can't always go
early.
off projection because it also depends on how they do at their camps, how they like
Like how well they mesh with
how
the
they
I don't know,
coaches
but
during
like
the meetings, all that stuff.
exactly. You can't just go based on how they play like raw. You also have to see how they fit in,
I
how
don't
they
know, but like
imagine
if you
how they
look at his
interact
highlights,
with
he's
players.
just super athletic, but like he doesn't have technique like other offensive tackles, like Josh Jones, in my opinion.
I don't know. I think final statement from me: the Dolphins did amazing in this first round, and I think they'll do even better later on. All right, so we'll go over to the 19th pick here. Raiders picking cornerback Darman Arnett, can't how you pronounce it, out of Ohio State.
Yeah, that's a big reach as well. They definitely needed a cornerback, but I thought they were gonna get like Jeff Gladney instead of him. But it's a
I don't know.
cornerback.
The Raiders are getting like okay picks. I think it's just how we have to see how they mesh in with their system.
Yeah, they like grabbing players. They like reaching on players a lot though.
Like taking a
It all-
gamble.
it also depends on like the coach.
Yeah, like that Clinton Farrell guy. He was supposed to go late first round. And they picked him fifth pick instead of Josh Allen, the defensive end. Josh Allen, not quarterback.
Yeah, I think the Raiders definitely Uh, it can go either or for them really. So
I thought they were gonna grab a safety instead. In my opinion, I thought they were gonna get
well, I
Xavier
think one of the
McKinney.
biggest surprises for me at least, coming off out of this first round is no one picked McKinney.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
And
was
he
so surprised.
He had amazing talent to not only play safety, but he could also play a linebacker, and also he had potential to play cornerback. Like he was an all-around good defensive player.
I'm just surprised Delpit didn't get traded. Get it.
And I think a
Like
lot of
there's
these
no
teams,
one.
a lot of these teams that either went for like reached for a cornerback or
They could have definitely took a safety
mediocre
instead.
kind of young defensive player like that, they definitely could have drafted McKinney and turned him into something else that would fit in their system.
I guess like Xavier McKinney's just gonna be.
Well, I'm excited to see who he goes through these later rounds though, or if he gets even drafted at all. I
Maybe
think
the
he will.
Maybe to the
Falcons should have got
Bengals.
him.
Could go. He could fall to the Bengals. That'd be a great pickup for
Yeah,
Bengals.
Bengals is drafting right now.
Right now,
No, like they have the pick.
first pick yet today.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll move on to the 20th pick. This went to Jacksonville. They picked Clavon Chasen.
Levon Chase.
Clavon Chase. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely the biggest steal in my opinion. He's literally projected. Oh, not projected, but like he's just a beast. He reminds me of Bobby Wagner a lot, and Von Miller.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think Jacksonville.
They
think
should have picked
Jacksonville-
him instead of AJ Terrell though.
Earlier, I did say I don't know what Jacksonville's trying to do, but I think they're like their picks. I think they're trying to build a new defense, really.
This was definitely the best player on the board. I think they're just going for the best player.
Maybe I don't know.
They got CJ Henderson and him. It's gonna be a good defense. This is with the Rams pick as well.
Yeah. All right. So we'll move on from Jacksonville. There's not much of a story there, but Philadelphia, last season, they struggled with wide receivers. So in the draft, they went ahead and got Jalen Rigger, wide receiver out of Texas Christian.
Yeah,
I'm kind
this
of
made
surprised by
sense.
this. Low key though, I thought they were gonna get Jefferson.
But they already have a slot wide receiver. I mean, kind of made sense. But also the Vikings have a slot wide receiver.
They still have Alshon, correct?
Yeah, and Deshaun.
Well, I don't know. The Eagles definitely needed some help.
They
at
definitely need a wide receiver.
And no matter what, they needed a wide receiver.
But I feel like this is a good pick for them, at least
I
for
think-
their offense, because they can put Jackson as their
the
as
Eagles need to plug a few holes in like overall in their team, like and maybe one offensive lineman, one linebacker, and then I think they'd be a pretty solid team again.
Yeah, like they made playoffs with what they had last season.
their
I think
offensive
that
line
should
is
show.
still like really good.
You know, but
That's
they
like the only thing that's not getting injured on their team.
there's a few holes in that ship that's preventing it from sailing. So I think
Yeah,
the Eagles will definitely.
it really depends if
They
Jason
played
Peters
this
come
later
back.
rounds of the draft smart. They could come out. As much as I hate to say it, but they could come out on top of the NFC East.
They're going to come up.
Let's not go that far. Come on.
Or the Giants.
Giants, dude.
The
Daniel
Giants, man.
Jones.
Kind of wish they got a wide receiver.
I don't think they need
Um, 22 Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson.
him. I'm so
wide
happy
receiver,
with this draft pick, dude.
Tito.
That's a good draft pick. The only problem with it, I don't know what they're gonna do with Thielen. With this,
I mean, now they have two slot wide receivers with Jefferson and Thielen.
yeah.
But Thielen
I
can be a
think
deep threat, dude.
Thielen definitely has the
Could
potential to be a
Yeah,
great
we've
deep threat.
seen Thielen be so good as a deep threat. He has good hands and he has good route running.
Thielen is one of those wide receivers that you can throw the ball to him,
And
and
he
he
can
will-
make the play. Yeah,
he'll catch it.
he can make the play.
Literally just throw it to him, and he will somehow end up with the ball in his hands.
Especially for our offense, I think it would be fine if you have a two tight end set plus the fullback plus two wide receivers. That would be.
Irv Smith is.
Plus.
I think Irv Smith is underrated. Like he
Irv
could break
Smith is
out.
good.
He could break out. if we do a 2 tight end off system.
And to pick number 23, LA Chargers picking up Kenneth Murray, linebacker from Oklahoma.
Kenneth Murray, he was pretty good. Not really surprised.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not surprised by it.
Yep, Chargers definitely need some help in their secondary, so I think this
They
is
even had a trade up for him, but
a good pickup. But they did trade up for him. It was originally New England. Traded up.
yeah, New
well,
England got a bunch out of it as well. They have 5 picks or something like that for today or on.
Well, I think that really helps.
Friday?
They'll help the Chargers secondary for sure. They need help back there.
Definitely gonna help the Chargers.
All right, pick 24, New Orleans Saints. They're picking Cesar Ruiz, center out of Michigan.
I thought Jordan Love was gonna land right there. In my opinion.
In all honesty, I think the Saints probably should have gone with a younger quarterback and have him groom under Drew Brees for sure.
That's
if
maybe
they're not,
where Jalen
it's
Hurts
still
comes
better.
from.
I hope they stick with Taysom Hill. I want them to stay with Taysom Hill, and
Only problem with him, he's just old.
I think Taysom Hill
Taysom
definitely
Hill's
has
gonna
potential to
turn
be-
30 after next year.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the Saints. I mean, the Saints O line overall was still pretty good. So I think this just adds like, it just beefs it up
Pretty
even
sure
more.
he's not playing center though. I'm pretty sure he's just an interior offensive lineman. He's
It
gonna
just
play
helps
right guard.
with the fact that Breeze is older and he can't scramble. So
Exactly.
anytime you have a quarterback who's older and can't scramble, it's
They're probably
have
gonna
to
have
have
the
a
best
beefy O-line.
offensive line now.
Saints are definitely going to be a scary team when they with this, and also they added Emmanuel Sanders.
yeah, because they
So
were
now
what they
they
were
have-
missing
they
was
have a
another
receiving-
like top wide receiver, and I think Emmanuel Sanders is really good in my opinion. So
Offense with Alvin Kamara, Emmanuel Sanders, and Michael Thomas, and that's going to be very scary, especially with the
I feel
beefed
like
up
they should
O-line
go
like this.
back to their old offense, in my opinion.
But the double running.
No, just go with Kamara, man.
I think this system it's way more consistent, but if a team figures you out, you're done.
Yeah. Because if
Like,
you
you
double
can't do
team
anything
Michael
else, yeah.
Thomas, you can't do anything.
If you
Like
have-
how Xavier Rhodes did.
If you can clamp Michael Thomas, but the thing is they have Emmanuel Sanders now. That's the thing.
The
They're-
big problem with the Saints last year was that you can double team Michael Thomas, shut him down.
They were missing that extra wide
You have
receiver
two options
to make
besides
them
him
better.
and Kamara. Now that they've added Emmanuel Sanders, they have another person that they can trust to throw the ball to and make a great big play. And I think
You know what's
that
crazy?
the Saints are very scary this season.
Felt with Michael Thomas. The Vikings was going to pick him, but we picked Laquan Treadwell, man.
Well, that's
Good
all we're
times,
done
good
with. We're
times.
talking about the future here. Let's not
Sanders
talk
can also be a pretty good deep threat, so we haven't seen like the Saints like throw deep that much. So that could be like a new option for them. They could start throwing deeper.
They lost Tedgin, right?
All right. Speaking of Emmanuel Sanders, the 49ers, with the pick number 25, try to replace him with wide receiver Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State. I'm probably butchering all these names, but
I think
You
I think
got it
you
right.
got it.
He's
I'm butchering a lot of
definitely a good wide receiver.
Yeah, I
Reminds
agree.
me of Emmanuel Sanders, which is
I mean, they needed someone
They
to
needed-
replace him for sure on that team because when their run game does get shut down, they need that double.
but I
wide-
think they reached for trading up with the Vikings. They should have definitely waited.
He is really good. Like I don't know, he's really good with run after the catch, and like elusiveness and stuff. So I think that like that works really well with the 49ers system
Yeah.
because Garoppolo's not
Yeah.
a deep thrower, and a lot of their big passing plays they relied on the receiver making the big play. So I think it's perfect for the 49ers.
I'm just surprised why they traded up for him. That's the only thing. Because there's no wide receiver that got selected after him.
Yeah.
mean,
Maybe they were just scared that maybe
Yeah,
like,
they probably really wanted him and they were just nervous.
Yeah, but they gave up a lot just to get him.
I mean, the 49ers don't really need much from the draft. They still have a pretty
I
solid.
don't know, but they traded all their picks are gone now.
They already have a stacked secondary and they have like a really good offense as well.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. This one has a lot of controversy to it. The Green Bay Packers, pick 26, picked Jordan Love.
I don't get this pick, man. It's so
I
confusing.
don't either. I believe my opinion is Jordan Love will probably be one of the best quarterbacks to come out of this draft. I mean, he's got inside talent. He can. The thing that he really needs to work on is his decision making.
Yeah.
Someone like Rodgers was learning under Rodgers, and he's like one of the best like passers, smartest passers in the game. I think this is great for him. The only thing is that Rodgers still has 3 years left on his contract,
Yeah.
and I don't think Jordan Love is that quarterback that wants to sit under
Also,
and wait 3 years.
earlier, Rogers said that if the Packers potentially were going to draft a quarterback, he wasn't gonna let them like beat him out. Like he was gonna fight till the very end. He said that on the Packers potentially drafting a quarterback in the first round. So
I felt like
Rogers looks like he like doesn't want. He might not want to like teach Love, like Jordan Love. He might not want to be like the mentor. And like the Alex Smith. He's like, oh, the backup can just come in.
It could go in the way of like how it did with Dak and Romo though, where Rodgers gets a big injury. Jordan Love has to be the guy to step in. He's like, okay, maybe I need to step down. I need to teach this guy so the team can
But the
win.
thing is, after Rogers' collarbone injury, he's been so much smarter in how he's like evaded. Like if he knows
Yeah.
he's gonna get sacked, he'll either throw the ball away if he's out of the pocket, or he'll throw it near a receiver. He started doing what Tom Brady does when Tom Brady's under pressure. Tom Brady throws it to the point where it's close enough to a receiver, but still far enough away so it's not a pick, so it's incomplete. So it's technically not a throwaway or intentional grounding, but it is. Rodgers has been doing that a lot more since his collarbone injury. So he's been playing smarter.
Alright. This just reminds me of the same thing, how Brett Favre and
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers and all that. Because there's rumors that Brett Favre did not want him to be on the team, and people are saying he never really taught him anything. And yeah, it's just Aaron Rodgers got drafted today, like by like 15 years ago. He got drafted today. It's just all adding up.
I just don't think it would be smart to replace Aaron Rodgers when he hasn't like noticeably regressed in form.
Yeah.
Like he's still really good. He still
I
makes
think
insane
if you're
throws.
looking at it from the Packers' perspective and their front office perspective, years left, right? So they bring in this guy Jordan Love. They let him teach under Rodgers for a year or two. Trade Rodgers away after like a team clears up some cap space. Because Rodgers, if he's on the trade block, he's gonna be like a Tom Brady. People are gonna go for him no matter what.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna trade him away afterwards once teams clear up some cap space, and then Jordan Love's gonna take over for the Packers by then.
But like, what if Rodgers plays really well?
Matt LaFleur is gonna take Jordan Love in, and like this quarterback is gonna be his legacy, not some guy that left and he had to come in and fix the shambles, like Mike McCarthy.
I don't know. It's just really interesting from the back. I think it'll create like internal conflict if that's what they're doing. That, like it
just
won't
tough
be
for
good for the
Aaron
team.
Rodgers,
Yeah, it
man.
won't be good for like the team. I don't think.
I'm pretty sure they haven't drafted a skill player like wide receiver or running back in the first round.
They
since
do need a
Aaron
running back.
Rodgers.
That was what I was expecting in the draft, was a running back and kind of pair up with Devontae Adams, but I guess not.
Wait, what do you mean running back? You mean wide
Or
receiver?
wide receiver. My
Yeah.
bad.
A lot of people were saying Rodgers should request a trade because
And those
of
rumors were
his-
fake, though. Those rumors were
I
fake.
don't think so.
No. It's not a rumor. It's just people are saying like he should, like Packers fans and stuff.
In my
Rodgers
opinion,
fans.
I feel like they should have went for defense. They could have got Patrick Queen from LSU. They would have upped their middle linebacker core. Yeah, or get a safety like Xavier McKinney. I felt like they could wait on a wide receiver for sure with this stacked draft class. Could get Mims from Baylor, Michael Pittman from USC. Yeah.
All right, moving on. We've got Seattle with the 27th pick, picking Jordan Brooks, linebacker from Texas Tech.
Oh, the Seattle's pick?
Yes.
I felt like they should have got Patrick Queen instead.
I think Seattle should have gone for an O lineman. They should have picked Isaiah
Yeah,
Wilson.
I thought they were gonna go for an O lineman.
They
but-
should have won
Russell
for
Wilson?
Josh Jones.
Russell Wilson was one of the most blitzed QBs in the league. last
Like,
season.
Like, there's a
I guess he
reason
has to
he's
get used to
always
it.
scrambling. Yeah, there's
He's
a reason he's always scrambling and throwing on the run because he
feel
has to.
I feel like he gets too
Exactly.
used to it. It means that he doesn't need
Like,
offensive
yeah,
lineman.
it's to the point where he thrives under it. Like, he plays
If you
so
look,
good on the run.
if you look at when they won that Super Bowl, though, he had time in the pocket to throw the ball, and
But they
that's what
also
he.
had a really insane defense, though. Their
Yeah.
defense was so good, dude.
I mean, their defense is
Their defense pretty much won them the Super Bowl.
still pretty solid. Still,
No, but before, their defense was stupid.
they had the Legion of Boom. Come on,
They
you can't-
destroyed Peyton
Yeah.
Manning, like, in his MVP year.
I don't know. I
Not
think
even
I
that,
think
man.
Seattle.
Their team was just so good.
Seattle, if they build an O line, they definitely have a chance to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like this
The rest
wasn't a
of
bad
their team is
pick.
Very well rounded.
This isn't a bad pick, but I think
It's
they
just
should have
big
went
of a
for an
risk.
O-line. I think they should have
Could've
went
been
for an
much more.
O-lineman. Like,
All
especially
right.
because Russ is aging too. He's getting older. Like,
Yes, and by then he won't be able to scramble much anymore. So
Now, hopefully their offensive line just gets better somehow. So you just have to hope for
yeah,
the
play the
best.
later rounds of the draft pretty smart here. All right, we're almost done. We got the last 5 picks here of the first round, starting with pick 28. Ravens picked Patrick Queen out of LSU. The Ravens have a stacked defense now.
Defense is gonna be the best.
yeah,
An amazing defense. They got Earl Thomas,
Basically
in the
got
back,
Bobby Wagner.
Patrick Queen, and they also acquired Calais Campbell.
And they still have their cornerbacks are insane.
Ravens definitely a Super Bowl contender. I think this season AFC Championship will definitely be a Ravens.
No one's
this season.
really talking to with them as well. They just slowly just got way better.
Ravens, yeah. I mean the Ravens
Calais
is
Campbell's right.
because they did a slow build. As soon as that Super Bowl won that Super Bowl, they completely fell off and they started building up again slowly. And
It's
It
now
really
they-
only got good because Lamar is just bringing people in.
But yeah, I think overall this was a great addition to their secondary.
Yep.
And I think if they pick up like a slot wide receiver maybe in the later rounds.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they need a wide receiver.
They
They
definitely
have
got
a
a
deep-
wide
I think
receiver.
they have their deep threat in Brown, but they definitely need a slot.
Imagine if they get Antonio Brown, man. Team's gonna be stacked.
Oh, this is gonna be way too much money for that.
Yeah. Their defense is good. They have good safeties. Their cornerbacks, they have Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters. They have what's the name? Marcus Carr, something like that. If they get I don't know what they can do to make their team better, to be really honest. Probably get an offensive lineman in the second round. If Marshall Yonda retiring.
All right, moving on to pick 29. The Titans pick up Isaiah Wilson, tackle from Georgia.
Yeah, I heard this tackle is super good.
And the Titans, now that they're sticking with our man Tannehill in the back. They're definitely gonna need a better O line.
Yeah, the problem with this offensive lineman, well, it's not really a big problem, but his pass blocking is not that good, but his run blocking is the best. Like
Which
in
is, I think, the
class.
Dolphins or not Dolphins.
That's what the
are
Titans
definitely
needed.
The Titans are definitely doubling down on their running.
Yeah,
They're gonna
got-
be a bootleg. They're definitely gonna be like a bootleg type offense.
probably like the Vikings, with more running, power running.
More West Coast passing too.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know what Tannehill West Coast, but for sure bootleg.
I think Tannehill is really is fit for a good West Coast
their
team.
offensive line is stuck now. They replaced Conklin.
Actually, I
that
don't know
went
about
to
their
them.
wide receivers though.
Wide
I
receivers.
mean, they have a trustable slot wide receiver. They do need a deep threat though.
AJ Brown's still pretty good.
That's
He's
it.
definitely probably the third best wide receiver in that class. Even though all the wide receivers are really good.
All right, so the Dolphins with the 30th pick picked Noah Igbenogany, cornerback from Auburn.
Yeah,
I
he's
think this is good because it gives the Dolphins another person in the secondary to pair with Byron Jones. So now they got a double
And
threat.
Xavier Howard. They definitely have their cornerback situation done with.
Dolphins are definitely plugging right holes in their thing. They're
Brian
definitely
Flores is a man with a plan.
Flores has definitely come in and helped the whole front office change. And I think the Dolphins will build a pretty good team for the future. To be honest, I think the Dolphins are going to be the team to run the
Their
AFC.
kids were hyped about that pick as well.
You know what's interesting? As Brady is not playing on the Patriots anymore, the other teams are starting to get a little bit better. Like the Dolphins are improving, the Bills have started to improve, and
How
then
come we
Brady's
forgot about
leaves.
the Bills?
I feel bad for the
And
Jets.
then Brady leaves. It's like it's perfect for the Patriots dynasty to just end.
Oh, I forgot the
So,
Bills were in that. I think
The
the
Bills and
AFC,
the Dolphins are gonna be a
I
tight
think the
call,
AFC is going to be a battle between Bills and Dolphins. Yeah.
or maybe the Patriots. They get Jalen Hurts and go 60-0.
Don't know yet. Man.
I feel
Yeah.
bad for the Jets, but I still think they're the worst in their division.
the Dolphins?
Somehow, no, not the Dolphins, the
Oh, the
Jets.
Jets. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I
Yeah.
just feel bad, man. It looks like they're rebuilding every single time.
Our front office is pretty sketchy as well.
Yeah, they shouldn't have hired Adam Gase. He
Yeah.
basically ruined Dolphins, and now he's gonna ruin the Jets.
All right.
Surprised he didn't get fired, to be honest.
We'll go on. Pick 31, Minnesota Vikings. They picked Jeff Gladney, corner,
Yeah, I like him a
I
lot.
like him. He's a physical cornerback. Like
and
he's
he is definitely a good replacement for Xavier Rhodes.
He
Xavier Rhodes
reminds
and
me of Jalen Ramsey a lot. Like
Xavier
I
Rhodes.
watched a bunch of highlights of him, and he just always like gets in fights and stuff, which is bad, but it's always fun to watch.
But Xavier Rhodes, like this guy is what Xavier Rhodes was for the first, so before he started turning into burnt toast.
Yeah,
He's definitely gonna be the guy to help Vikings.
he's basically like Mike
Rebuild that
Hughes.
secondary that they blew up over the
but one
offseason.
of the weaknesses though is gonna be his height because he is
Yeah,
He is very short. He's
but
5'10".
but people say he's fine because his arms are super like long.
yeah, like he's strong. He's got good hops, decent hands. So I think he'll be fine.
And he's really fast. He ran like a 4.38 or something.
And he's really physical. Like he's willing to like get up in there to stop the ball play. You know what I mean?
I'm just afraid that when he goes up against those number one guys,
Yeah.
or like wide receivers, they're tall.
Like Julio.
He
Like
might
if he
have
had to
some
go
trouble
against
with
Julio deep, like it's
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna have Holton
If
Hill,
they,
I
I
guess,
think
guarding.
if they do pick up another cornerback, maybe to pick the
They're
main guy.
probably gonna get Jalen Johnson.
like
I want him.
sometime like he could get mismatched a couple times and teams could exploit that. So
Yeah.
Hopefully the Vikings.
Overall, I think the Vikings need to. They're definitely rebuilding their defense, and then they have to beef up their O line.
Hopefully we can get a trade for Anthony Harris soon. Because we have to. If he's not gonna want to play on the team, we might as well trade him and try getting something off of him.
All right. Coming up to the last pick of the first round, and Kansas City surprisingly picking a running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of LSU. I think this is a great pickup for Chiefs.
I think it is too.
At first, when I was watching the draft live, I thought it was. I don't think it was needed because they had Williams. But and then I went back to look at some film of Clyde, and it's definitely a good pick for them.
Yeah, but like, I feel like this is a perfect fit for them. People are trying to say, what's the name? DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, or J.K. Dobbins should have been him first. He was the 4th running back rated on everyone's scouting. But I feel like he was just a perfect fit for Chiefs. They
Yeah,
didn't
even
really need Swift or any of
He's
them.
quick. He's really
If
elusive.
you look at how he played at LSU, he played gap out of the shotgun formation, which was perfect for Kansas City because they
Yeah.
have great passing assets, great Mahomes. They can use so many shotgun formations and have a run pass diversity for their offense. So I think this is
Plus, what's the name? Jonathan Taylor. He's super fast. Like he's probably one of the fastest running backs. But he fumbled the ball 18 times in 1 year. So that's pretty bad. DeAndre Swift. He's pretty fast, but he's just a receiving back. Then J.K. Dobbins is just a utility guy. 'Cause I feel like Clyde is just definitely a good pick for the Chiefs. I thought they were gonna go safety, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I mean,
They
I
could
think
also get one.
this was still a very good pickup for them. I think the Chiefs obviously they won their Super Bowl champs. They definitely will make it back to the Super Bowl in the next year or two for sure.
He looks like he like plays like Saquon, but like shorter.
Yeah, he's like
He's
quick.
basically
Short. He's like a short Saquon.
he's a mashup of Le'Veon and Kamara. That's what people are comparing him, kind of.
He's not compared to Saquon.
I mean, Saquon, yeah. I mean,
At least on Madden, he
okay. Well,
looks like a Madden player.
Take it easy.
Ah, but like, look how he jukes and stuff. It looks like he has jukebox or something.
It's not Madden. Stop talking like it's Madden.
My bad.
All right. So that was the first round of the draft. Overall, it's very smart picks by most teams. I think some teams that maybe didn't have smart picks were maybe Jacksonville and Las Vegas, but
Nah, I think Jacksonville definitely won, in my opinion. They definitely didn't need to trade Calais Campbell though. They definitely lost this offseason.
Most of these teams are still a question mark for me of whether they did a good draft or not. It all depends on the later rounds. But overall, first round, most teams probably did the smartest thing they could. So that
Yeah.
this year.
Anything, I think the Raiders kind of lost. Well, at least with that cornerback, they're fine with Henry Ruggs.
Yeah. So
There's no team that really did that bad, except the Seahawks, probably.
just try to kind of wrap things up here. I do want to get into what do you guys think is going to happen to this upcoming season because you guys do know about the pandemic and stuff, coronavirus. How do you guys think the season will be affected by this?
I think they're probably gonna have no fans for like at least 2 months or so. But I think that's it.
Because
I don't think it's not big enough. I don't think it's. I think it will slow down quite a bit.
It's just
thing is,
unpredictable.
the thing I'm more
Yeah.
concerned about is you can play with no fans, but then what do you do with the players? Do you let the players go back home after playing with people from different states and stuff like that, or do you play all the games at one location?
Yeah, what's his
That
name?
location with their families.
What's the president's?
Anjay Gupta or something.
No, the president's doctor starts with an F. Forgot, dude. I know his name, but I can't.
It's
Fauci?
Fossey, something like that.
Yeah. So
It's Fosse.
he said for sports, the only way they could happen is if all the players all stay. They have to get tested first.
Mm-hmm.
All the ones
All
that are
of them.
healthy have to stay in a hotel, in like the same hotel or something, and they're not
Exactly.
allowed to like leave the hotel, only to go to their games and stuff like that, into an empty stadium, no fans. So I think honestly, I think they should postpone the season, but and just I think they should do what the NBA is doing, just like
Yes.
postpone it for now until like we can like get a because right now it's so unpredictable with the
And they're
pandemic.
probably gonna make that decision whether to postpone it or not, probably closer on to when the season's gonna start or
Yeah.
preseason.
Yeah.
Like it's
But,
still
like,
really unpredictable. How
I don't think the one stadium thing or one city thing is not gonna work because what happens if like Patrick Mahomes has Corona? That just basically ruined their whole season.
Yeah, but that's why you gotta isolate the other players, though. That's like all the players of every team needs to be at one hotel or two hotels.
I think they should let
Yeah.
like the I think they should let the teams
Like,
and like
vote,
players
yeah.
vote on it too. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our episode of the podcast today. Be sure to like and subscribe and keep watching for more episodes. We're gonna be trying to upload more consistently. We had quite a bit of gap between our first episodes and this one. Upload a lot more, but obviously with this whole COVID thing, I don't know how much news will be coming out. But we'll try to keep producing some podcasts for you guys and keep talking about the big subjects in sports. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys see you next week. Peace. Take care.
Saying that it feels right.